And, welcome back. Time for the super special mission.
Hello.
Yeah. We're all back. Well, the two of us. So we're taking a quick look at the text for the Rajang fight here. People can pause it if they want, but as you can see, there are two Rajangs.
Oh boy.
One is inside the arena, and the other is waiting outside the arena. Now, I was starting to get really pissed while I was trying to record this video. I think it took me like 7 or 8 tries to get this. I was starting to get pretty pissed. Now, here's the problem. Oh, well, I'll explain it after this.
Oh boy.
And he starts out enraged. Isn't that wonderful? And before anybody says anything, yes, the Capcom thought it would be funny to make a Goku monster. Go Super Saiyan. And yes, he loses his power if you cut his tail off. I really hate Capcom for that. And you can only get his tail off with Ice Element. And since I'm doing it with Gunlance this time around, I'm not even gonna try. Plus, I don't have time to screw around. Because what I was trying to get at earlier, before the cutscene happened, and then I decided, no, I'll wait. You have 10 minutes to kill the first Rajang before the second one jumps in. You're on a time limit. So what you have to do is you have to burn the first one out as much as possible. Doesn't get as many hits in it as you can, use as many items, be as reckless as possible. And you have to remember, these are high-rank monsters. They're not scaled down to normal rank, and I only have normal rank equipment. So, okay, so they're two monsters, so they don't have as much health each. But they're still gonna hurt me just as much as a high-rank monster. And and my weapons aren't really up to par. When they're enraged, they will usually do something two-shot because they have high rank armor. Also, when he does that, I always wish I had Quake resistance. Also, another thing to point out, now that I'm pointing things out, the Gunlance is a really horrible weapon to fight Rajangs with. You have your shield, that's fine, but you're really slow.
But it's slow.
And not to mention, you can barely even hit his legs when you're doing a stab. Like, the Lance will have the advantage of doing a diagonal stab upwards combo. I can do this as poke shield, and that doesn't go so well. Also, beams. But yeah, so it's really hard to actually hit Rajang properly with the full combo. If you ever have time for it. But you also want to make sure you still have some items left over for the next Rajang as well. So it's actually a pretty challenging mission to do if you're not using high rank. And the only reason why it was pissing me off is because, I do the whole recording thing, right? And then on top of that, I'm doing the live commentary to go for whoever wants to listen to me drone on and get pissed. So, like, you get pretty pissed after you repeated yourself like 7 or 8 times to the microphone. Also, that was stupid of me.
Ow!
Yeah. You're...
Oh, at least you fell in.
Oh. But, like, if you can, you know, just go all out on them. Like I'm even using power pills and all that sort of stuff. I think power pills roughly lasts. And another thing that's really dangerous that might take you off with Rajang, he is very fast and very strong.
Yeah.
And a lot of these attacks they will catch you off guard really easily, and they will pound you. They'll pound you to goo. On top of that,
Well, at least Devil Toe's not here to screw you up.
well, I wouldn't like to fight 3 monsters at once in this arena. Not right now. And terrible time to sharpen my weapon in, but I'm on a time limit, so I have to make everything count. Rather than just dancing around waiting for an opening. And this is what I'm talking about with, like, it's really hard to hit with a gun lance. Notice how I'm just going between his legs the entire time, getting one hit in and not much else. The next Rajang's gonna be worse than this one. Don't worry.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, there's actually a little special gimmick. It's not so bad if you're doing this for yourself. You fail the mission once, and you're like, okay, I failed the mission. Let me try again, because of the cutscene. Rajang always starts out enraged. The second time you do the mission after you fail, and then you try doing it again, the cutscene won't appear, and thus he won't start out enraged. So people who fail the first time are actually doing it sort of like a slightly easier version. Which makes a big difference that he's not enraged the first, like, couple minutes of the fight. Really going for the cat today. The only reason why I brought the bomb cat this time around, not the buff cat, is because the buff cat's not going to help me do too much damage. I mean, that's like more of a support with healing, armor buffs, and a little bit of damage buff. But it's not going to help me as much as the bomb cat will help me, due to the bomb cat ignoring all defense, just doing damage every so often. Well, not even every so often. I've been tossing a lot of bombs. I tried it with all the other cats, and the bomb cat seemed to be the one that worked the best for me when I did the video. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure that most people... Yeah, I thought he was going to spit that time rather than do the beam. But I'm sure most people, if they ever bother doing this mission, they'll probably do it once they got high rank weapons or something. Because they probably won't even know it's there.
Any trips?
But no, there's actually also something similar to this, only a lot harder and a lot worse.
Yeah, I think I've heard of him.
No. What I'm talking about, like the special mission at the end of normal rank. There's also something like that for high rank, and I cannot do that until. Let's be honest. What's going to happen when in the videos is I'm gonna have all the single player videos posted. If I don't have G rank weapons and armor by then, there's gonna be a period of time where I'm gonna go try and see if I can solo farm some G rank stuff, which should be possible. If not, I'll probably have to call Heat Wizard. Well, and have him help me farm or something like that, or maybe a monk, who knows, depending on who I can get a hold of. And then I will do videos, you know, like the last couple of videos, and then that will sort of be the end of the Freedom and Freedom Unite. And then I will start up the try thread. I'll post the link in the thread for people wanting something awful.
But
People
yeah,
just
when I
have-
mentioned that there was a worse version of Razang, I'm talking a Razang that's pretty much always enraged.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that. Oh, yeah, that's right. There is a subbreed of Rajang.
Yeah, him.
Right,
Oh
there's-
boy.
Forgot about that. Yes, in G rank, there's a subbreed of Rajang.
Well, not really subbreed, but rather a very...
No,
Isn't-
I think he is considered a subbreed because he's called Gold Rajang. And guess
Well-
what color he is while he's enraged? Gold. So it's basically just Rajang that's always... Oh, by the way, I said the next one was going to be worse. Note how big he is. And how fast he is.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. Note how slow this weapon is.
Oh, boy.
Note how tall he is too, and I'm gonna barely be able to hit his legs. Also, he jumped right back into that. I think I can't quite remember, but I think with Rajang, you can't use shock traps on him if he's enraged, just because he's a lightning bolt.
Yeah, that makes sense. If I remember correctly, there's a new variation of Devil Joe that's pretty much also always enraged.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's in the newest.
Yeah, the Tri-G.
Yeah.
I'm still not planning on getting Tri-G just because I don't have a 3DS and I'm not gonna pay like the price of 3 PlayStation 3s for a handheld console I'm probably never really gonna use. Granted, you know, it's a Monster Hunter game, but you know, like eventually you get tired of Monster Hunter. But again, I guess it also hinges a lot on if I ever see one on sale for a decent price, and I heard rumors, and just rumors, that Capcom is going to have actual servers for Tri-G, just like with Tri, because the Wi-Fi ain't gonna work in the West because we don't live clustered together so much, and it's far between people who actually own the game, like Monster Hunter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, this is just a rumor that I heard, but if they do that, I'm leaning more in favor of playing Tri-G myself. I of course will play with 3D because that'll just screw with my eyes and hurt them. 3D is a terrible gimmick. That's my opinion, though. Look at it for 20 minutes and you have a headache or a migraine. Some people don't.
I don't mind it so much.
And I can barely even see the 3D in like 99% of the things, so it's just... Eyes were not meant to do that. But, I mean, like, there's a couple of things where, like, if you could make, like, a puzzle that requires maybe to turn on the 3D for a few moments, and then you can see the 3D, and it's very well done, and then you solve the puzzle, and then you can just turn it right off. You know what, that's fine. But, I don't know. 3D's just not my thing.
Well, they don't really require you to have the 3D on.
No,
It's
exactly.
just...
I mean, there was like a Mario game where they actually had some puzzles where you were required to turn the 3D on just for that one puzzle. They did something like that a couple of times. And I think that's an interesting...
More of a just an aesthetic thing.
Yeah. But like I said, if I get the 3DS, I won't be using the 3D version at all. I like my eyes, and my eyes like me. They won't like me if I use the 3D function. as a kid, actually, now that we're talking about 3D, as a kid, I always thought that, you know, just you wore those paper 3D glasses with the red and blue, then you saw things in 3D. I didn't quite know how it worked. So I would play Nintendo video games wearing them because I thought I'd be able to see in 3D. so I like you playing the original Metroid with the glasses. I'm like, why isn't this working? And I kept doing it anyways.
Yeah.
Because maybe if I just kept doing it, it'd work. Maybe that's why I hate 3D.
Well, now they have a new kind of 3D glass.
Yeah, it's more electronic.
Yeah.
With shutters.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot more. They've gotten rid of the red and blue lenses.
Well, when you did the whole red and blue thing, and you also had to like do your picture in a completely different way when you say filmed the movie.
Yeah.
But with this other one, I don't know. It's like one version of it, you get like red and bluish on the screen, and it's sort of like sort of looks like it's split in a sense.
Yeah, that's the old way of doing things.
The new way of doing it just makes all the colors look really dark and murky and blurry. This is without putting 3D glass on, of course. Though I keep hearing people complain about, like, they go to a 3D movie and the movie's already dark to begin with, and then like the 3D adds extra darkness to the movie and it's impossible to see what's going on. And that's like a common complaint I hear about that. So like, I don't know, like just to put a shot out in the dark, vampire movie where 99% of the movie is done in the dark. Like no daylight. You're not going to see anything in a 3D movie if this is true with like how they do 3D conversions and all that. I don't know. Again, 3D's not really my thing. Also,
I'm kind of neutral to it myself.
Yeah, not really neutral. I detest. I will admit it. But yeah, just like in the regular arena, there are items to pick up. The question is it safe to pick up items with a Rajang around? The answer is no. And the only thing flash bombing really helps is that he can't see you, but he will just be doing attacks in a random direction. Not like where wyverns or bird wyverns will just kind of chomp in front of them or tail whip or shoot. No, he will be all over the place. But the bright side is...
I forget, do you fight Rajang anywhere else?
High rank. The volcano, for example.
Okay.
That's all I really can recall off the top of my head. Oh, thank goodness for shield. And he's angry again. Damn it. Yeah, like, the first few attempts I also did trying to do this. I actually tried to do it with the Ice Gun Lance, but I just wasn't doing enough damage. So the two Rajangs. So I gave up on killing the first Rajang with the Ice Gun Lance, and then trying to get a tail cut in the second. Because it just was not doing any damage. Well, I'm doing some damage, but not now. Oh, and aside from his tail, he also has 2 horns.
Okay.
And you need to break both horns to get one horn. So that's part of my friend, but kind of bullshit. But then again, I think you'll also have that with Diablos too.
I wonder, what's the best weapon to fight this thing with?
Honestly, I really don't know, because I'm not very good at fighting Rajang, and I haven't really used very many weapons. I think on my second save file, I used a hammer. Hammer's good for everything, almost, so... Maybe Plessia. But... Hammer's pretty much good for almost everything. But yeah, I just used the hammer. This is actually the first time I attempted with a gun lance. And I kind of regretted that I didn't have a red. The regular lance would be pretty decent.
I wonder, would longsword be good against this guy?
I want to say no. And the reason why I'm saying no is because, well, I think you'll run into a lot of the same problems where it's going to be hard to hit his body, because if you get a big one, he's so tall and so high up, so you're just going to be able to attack the feet and arms. And the only thing you need ice element for is really the tail cut. He does take a lot of damage to ice on the head, but if his head is high up, then you're gonna do like maybe half of your attacks is gonna hit the head and the other half is not gonna hit it. I don't think he's weak in particular to any status effects. He can get hit by them, but he's not like ridiculously weak, like Poison will take off so much damage from it it's retarded. Nothing like that.
Oh boy.
And I think he'd be hell to fight with a ranged weapon just because of how fast he can get. If you were going to pick a ranged weapon, I know the bow really sucks damage-wise, but it'd be at least a good choice because you have more mobility.
Yeah.
Also, another thing to point out, his roars are kind of like Tigrex's, only they don't do damage to you, but they will shove you away. A lance would be a good weapon, just because you have the shield, and like I mentioned, with some evasion gear, you can do some get some good distance with your jumps. So you turn around, back hop to where Rajang is, or out of the way, and then position yourself, do a few stabs, and repeat.
The three monkeys is Rajang, Kangalala, and Blaganga are pretty much all bastards to fight.
I don't know, Kangalala isn't that bad, he's pretty easy.
But Blaganga and this guy...
Yeah, Blaganga, he jukes you and he's fast. This guy, he doesn't just juke you, he crushes you if he can. I think also Rajang is immune to fire damage, so no luck there. And he's also immune to lightning, and also I think he's immune to water as well, or just almost completely immune to it. And you'd think he would be weak to water because of lightning, but no, it's ice that he's weak to, and only on the head.
Oh boy.
So I'm like, elemental weapons aren't really... If you're good at hitting the head with some sort of weapon, which is always risky business, you could probably use an ice weapon to great effectiveness, but honestly, I would stick with a pure physical damage weapon. Yeah. And, you know, I would have enjoyed to just fight one Rajang, because the video would have been shorter, and I could just go all out on this one Rajang, but no, this one... Yeah, the second one is bigger, stronger, has more health, and just everything that makes him worse. And because his model is so much bigger, he can cover so much ground, and he's so much faster because of it.
Oh boy.
I'm not even sure if a longsword would be a pretty good weapon against this now, I'm thinking about it. Because for the next Rajang, which is far into the future, video-wise, I kind of want to bring a longsword, an ice one, to try and get all the breaks, just because I'll have more reach. But then I'm thinking, I'll probably just get myself killed. Not that I don't already do that to begin with, but more so than usual. But it would be good to, you know, get a tail cut. It certainly would also make the fight a lot easier if we can't enrage.
Yeah, getting rid of that damn tail is probably a big thing with fighting these guys.
Oh yeah. But it's just that this mission is kind of bullshit, so I don't really have time to try and cut tails with the ice weapon. And plus I've made the stipulation for myself, because I'm an idiot, that I'm going to use the gun lance. So... Like, I did it to myself, let's put it that way. I did it for you, Internet. I did it for you. Are you happy? Say no.
You bastards!
Well, again, like I said, I did it to myself. Well, okay, they chose the gun lance. Another good armor set to probably bring, if it wasn't because I had to deal so much damage in the very beginning, I probably would have brought Black Gravios armor, so I could block the lightning beam. And he just warped up and warped down.
That was weird.
Yeah. But he's dead. Took me...
Hooray!
Yeah, took me almost 30 minutes to take that bastard out. If you're not using high-rank weapons, I think this is as good as you're gonna get it. I actually had a pretty good run this time around, considering you wouldn't have wanted to see. If it wasn't because I was so pissed, I probably would have kept the failed videos and made a death reel. But no.
Then we get the car back, guy.
Yep. If you kill the one Rajang before the 10-minute mark, you'll actually have time to carve and pick up items in the arena and like heal up and stuff before the other one shows up. Somewhere around the 10-minute mark, the other one shows up. So that's how I know it's like a 10-minute mark thing. Because my second save file where I again brought a Nargacuga hammer. Probably even shouldn't have said that name, but screw it. Like, there's a monster called Nargacuga. Enjoy.
Well, we've kind of mentioned names of monsters that we haven't confronted yet.
Well,
I'm not sure.
I think I might have mentioned Nargacuga with Paper Lion before. Now that I think about it. Or maybe that just was a random conversation over Skype. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see you in the next video.